Hey guys, it's me again. Um, little update on my July horror pack, my Blu-ray, because I know I did the DVD pack a week ago. I'm still waiting on the Blu-ray pack. I know it's on its way to me right now. I guess horror pack this month they had some trouble with one of the movie Blu-rays, one of the titles. I guess um, the post office lost one of the shipments or something, so they didn't get all of them. So Blu-rays were kind of held off for a few days till they got them. But they're on their way. I know that people are already doing like their videos of unboxing the Blu-ray pack this month. So by the time that I get mine, if I do a video on it, depending on when I get it, what my schedule's like. If I do a video on unpacking my Blu-rays, guys have probably already seen it, probably like a dozen times, so if you don't end up seeing my video on it, not a big deal. Um, or if you're like me, who you've got a group of people that you like to see their unboxings of this each month, you can see my video for like the umpteenth time. But like I said, haven't got mine yet, so instead I'm gonna do a little something different today. I was kind of racking my brain. I was kind of debating on if I wanted to do a video today. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. Um, but I was kind of thinking about it. Maybe I'll talk about like remakes and stuff. Nothing like specific. Um, Probably in future videos I'll probably do more like specific remakes. Talk about different remakes that I may or may not like. I'm just gonna talk about a few of those today. So yeah, this is just kind of like a in general video about remakes today. Um, so remakes, last 12 years or so, 12 or 13 years or so, I know we as a whole have had so many. We've been flooded with like horror remakes, like literally everything under the sun. Um, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I know that was kind of like the kickstarting one where that one was remade, and then it seemed like after that everything was remade. Friday 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween, The Fog, um, My Bloody Valentine, Black Christmas, When a Stranger Calls, just literally any and every possible horror movie has been remade. Um, I there there's so many remakes I feel that have been out there. Like I said, we've been saturated with them for years now. And I know obviously there's been remakes in the past, The Fly, Invasion of the Body Snatchers, which that one I know has two remakes that I know of. Um, you know, The Blob, just so many things. Um, some of them some of them are good, some of them are okay, and some of them are just god awful. Um, like some of the ones that I kind of like, and maybe it's because I saw them when I was like really young and didn't realize that they were remakes. But like I really enjoyed The Blob with like Shawnee Smith and one of the Dylans. I'm totally blanking on his name right now, which I feel because I know he's kind of been in a few things. Sorry if he knows again. Um, I enjoyed that remake. I enjoyed the Fly remake with Jeff Goldblum and Gina Davis. Once again, I think because maybe I saw those so young, and when I saw them at that age and being literally like 6 years old, not realizing there were remakes, I think I kind of liked them, not realizing their backstory. Um, but then, yeah, there's like other ones like Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday 13th, that just, and especially those two that like, those series, those franchises I grew up with. Those were some of my favorite franchises. Those were like my foundation of horror, and then we got those movies, and it just, and no disrespect to like Jackie Earl Grey. I mean, I loved him in like Bad News Bears and stuff, but one that I have a kind of a love hate relationship with is the Rob Zombie remakes, and I know I'm gonna get shit for that. Those were kind of decent. One thing that once again, this is one thing that I love and I hate about Rob Zombie's remakes of Halloween is that he does provide kind of like a backstory to Michael. Like he gives us a little bit of like why did he become this way, you know, and we see a little bit into his life and his background. So you know, we get a lot of this like kind of unnecessary backstory in the first one of like why he turned out the way he did. Um, like stuff like that. Like I liked kind of like the backstory, but I feel for a Michael Myers character, we don't need that backstory, especially considering that like John Carpenter and I think even Dr. Loomis, like in the first one, kind of alluded this. Like as the character kind of alluded of like, oh, you know, he has the darkest eyes and everything. So just giving that mysteriousness to it, and just you don't know anything about it. He's the shape. You know, I think that's one character that you really didn't need the backstory to, because now, you know, literally every time I watch even like the original stuff, like even though I'm usually pretty good about separating stuff like that, like remakes and stuff and all that, and especially with like the Halloween series where there's, well, almost with any franchise, there's no like continuity at all. But I just feel like with that one, I'm like every time I see like number one or something, it's like, oh, because he had a bad childhood. It's like, no, you know. So I do feel like with Halloween, like I said, it's, you know, I love the little like backstories and everything, but for that specific character, we definitely did not need the backstory, because then you kind of taint the whole like mysteriousness of Michael Myers. You know, like something like I know we were getting the Leatherface prequel later on this year, if not, I think next year. Once again, I probably should have done a little research. I'm literally just like diving into this right now because I'm like, I should do a video. But yeah, like, you know, with a character like, you know, Leatherface, I, for me, I'm interested as fans, especially in loving these, you know, series like the Texas Chainsaw franchise and stuff. Like, as fans, sometimes we do, you know, we love these films so much that to hear or to see a story or like a prequel or something or a little bit of a backstory, it's kind of fun because it's like, ooh, like really what did happen? Especially if it's one where we don't really know like a backstory to it, just we're kind of thrown in. Or like even with the Friday 13th remake, like I know we have like I think a small little backstory to him, but I feel like what Rob Zombie did at the beginning of his first remake of Halloween, the first one, I feel like they should have done um with like uh sorry, I was gonna say Freddy Krueger. With Friday 13th, like I would love to see more of a backstory. And I think we are getting sort of getting that in the next installment of Friday the 13th. I know they keep kind of changing the details a little bit. Um, but yeah, I think that would be such a fun thing to dive into with a character like Jason Voorhees and his relationship with his mother, and to know his dad, which I know we're gonna find out his dad in this one, apparently. I mean, for those of you who don't know, I kind of am interested to see if they're gonna do it as what they wanted to do in part 7 of Friday the 13th. Or no, I'm sorry, part 6. Part 7's the one where it's got the little psychic girl. Part 6, the last installment with the Tommy Jarvis character. I know, like, the guy, the cemetery guy who's kind of watching over the cemetery, I know he was supposed to be, they're going to write it where he was going to be, like, Jason's father, and he, like, that's the reason why he's, like, the caretaker at the cemetery where he's buried at. I think in, like, the little, like, pocketbook that came out with part 6, I think explains that. I just have never read any of those books. I've never come across them. I know I could probably get them on, like, eBay or Amazon or a little secondhand store for relatively cheap. Like I said, I just haven't checked them out yet. But, yeah, I feel like, you know, with Jason, or even Freddy Krueger, going back to Freddy Krueger, he would have, like, he's, like, got the perfect setup for, like, you know, a remake or prequel where you could go in, explain his, like, backstory, because we already kind of know he was, like, a child molester, and parents went after him, and burned him and everything. Like, you're not messing up the mythology, you're not, you know, because, like, we already know that he was a twisted freak of a fuck, you know, do it with Freddy. But yeah, just, it's, like, little things like that that's, like, you know, I think Rob Zombie kind of missed with, but, like I said, I could watch, his versions, just because, to me, they're a little more tolerable than the others. When I say others, mainly like the Friday and the Nightmare one, just because, like I said, those 3 were, like, the ones that I really grew up on and were, like, my foundation for. But yeah, like, even going back to, like, Friday the 13th, like, that remake, like, I knew before they announced it, when they announced it, I knew that what they would probably do is not necessarily give us, like, a true remake of the first one where we've got Mrs. Voorhees, she's the killer and everything. I knew it was going to be one of those things where Jason was going to end up being the one going around killing people, which is awesome because, I mean, Jason's such an iconic character, but I'm like, you're just remaking, like, the sequels, basically, which sucks. And also, too, something that I just pisses me off with that version, with the, what is it, the 2010 version or whatever it is, like, since when is Jason kidnapping people and, like, kidnapping them and keeping them in, like, a tunnel or something? Like, the fuck is that? Like, just thinking about it is pissing me off. It just, yeah, so I am so not happy with that sequel. Yeah, sorry I'm a little more, like, stumbly over my words. I literally just woke up from a nap, like, 20 minutes ago. I woke up to my dog's wet nose in my face, licking my face, trying to get me up. I needed a nap today, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, just, like, why would you do that to Jason? Like, he freaking kills people. He doesn't kidnap them because they look like his mother or anything. No, he's gonna fucking kill you, okay? The only reason why they got away with someone trying to, like, imitate his mother in part 2 is because the girl was trying to fucking survive and kill Jason. She wasn't a little, like, oh my god, he's gonna, oh. Like, no, dude, you're fucking stupid. All those kids in those remakes are fucking stupid and they deserve to die. Maybe not quite by Jason, because Jason deserves more respect than that, but they deserve to die. But, yeah, I mean, remakes, though, just, ugh. Like, another remake I know I've talked about in another video, one that I really liked, not really much I have to say negatively about it is Tom Savini's remake of George Romero's Night of the Living Dead. Um, and once again, I know it's not like perfect. I know people out there don't like it. I respect that, because what I might like, next person might hate, and vice versa. So that's what I love about the horror community is that we all seem to like and dislike different things, and we can get into discussions like that. Not like most of us can do this. Some of us can't. But a lot of us seem to like be able to kind of like not go around and like troll everyone if we have a different idea of stuff. But yeah, like Tom Savini's Night of the Living Dead, like I like it because he tried to, at least this is what this is my opinion. It seems like what he kind of tried to do for what Romero ended up not doing with his version, his original idea. But like, to have the lead female character, Barbara, end up becoming like one of like the strong characters. Like she goes from that little tiny mousy girl and evolves into this strong woman who takes charge and is like, you gotta get the fuck out of Dodge and like try and survive whatever the hell this thing is. Like we're not gonna give up. And kept Tony Todd's character in that movie, Ben, still that really strong. I don't know why I'm doing that. Really strong African American who's also like, dude, taking charge and we gotta freaking get the hell out of here. And I also, too, like at the end that he did keep Ben's death in the final movie, but I like that he had Ben transform into a zombie, and that Barbara was the one who, like, she discovers him with a couple of the other, hillbillies that she found and went back to the house. That Barbara was the one who I don't know why I had to say that phrase like 10 times, but who ended up shooting him and killing him, because I felt like that was appropriate instead of having like one of the hillbillies kill him. Because I feel like that was more appropriate. Like, she was the one who had the final say. Like, she didn't want Ben to be one of the reanimated people, and hillbillies are like, hey, we're gonna take this one, we're gonna take him around back so they can like fight each other and stuff. Like, she had too much respect for Ben, basically, and was like, no, like he just helped save me. I'm saving him from this crazy ass humiliation with these hillbillies. So it's like little things like that Savini did with his film and tried to stay true to Romero's vision. That's what I like and respect about that movie, about that remake. God, there's so much. Like I said, there's so many. I'm like literally like Rolodexing it in my head right now. Literally, I said Rolodexing it, which no one uses anymore. So all you youngins, look up what a Rolodex is. But yeah, like another one that I was really disappointed with. I mean, I could see where some people might like it, especially like the younger teenage audience. If they've never seen the original, or maybe they didn't like the original, is A Stranger Is Calling. Sorry, I was totally blanking, even though I had like Carol Kane in my head. But yeah, that movie, the original one, I really loved. I really loved the original When a Stranger Calls. Sorry, I think I said When a Stranger Is Calling. Sorry, now that I'm thinking of it. Cut me some slack. I've been up since 5, and I literally just woke up from a nap, like I said, like 20 minutes ago. But yeah, like that one, and I knew too, because I remember seeing the original one, I think when I was in high school, so like, I want to say probably like 2001, 2002-ish, when I first saw that one, and at first I was kind of like, but it definitely grew on me. I loved it. I loved that movie. And I like that, like, it's only the first, like, 15 minutes is of Carol Kane in the house, creeper guys calling and everything. Check the children. Um, and then, that night ends, and it's like, we catch up with her a few years later, see what's going on with her and all that. And, like, with the remake, I knew, like, I knew it was like sometime like maybe in between like the remake and me graduating from high school. So I like when I was in college, I kind of was thinking about it because like God, there's a lot of remakes being done, and for some reason I thought of When a Stranger Calls, and I thought, God, if they ever made that movie into made it into or did it as a remade it, I knew that what they would do is basically have it be set in one night, Halloween style, and that's what they ended up doing, and it just not I'm not a fan of it. I mean, once in a while I might pop it in, but honestly, I think I last time I watched it was like on purpose too. By the way, it was like maybe 3 years ago, and I haven't really watched it since then. So, um, but yeah, there's just so many different ones that like suck. At least in my opinion, and it's just and it's kind of interesting too, because like I said, there's it's kind of died down a little bit, but we're still getting stuff like Stephen King's It coming out next year, and then I think part two. I thought I thought I read it was the part two was coming out in 2019, but I feel like that's way 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 off. Like maybe we should be getting in 2018. And when that project was first announced, I was like, nope, nope, no, no, do not remake this movie. I know the one that we have now with Tim Curry and like John Ritter, um, Jonathan Brandis. Like, I mean, that I know kind of sucks. Is a crappy version, but at least for me, kind of the saving grace for it, the reason why I kind of once in a while will put it in is because of Tim Curry's portrayal. Like, he is such an iconic person. Like, even though he's not, like, people know him, but he's never been like that, like, top star, like how like Tom Cruise was, or Tom Hanks, or any one of these like huge guys, or even like Sean Connery and everything. But it just, when he plays a role, he does it so freaking well that it's like no one else could have done that role but Tim Curry. So like this one with the remake of It, I'm very much like, although I'm kind of coming around because it does seem like they are trying to really stick true to the book, and plus, like I said, they're going to be doing it in two parts. So I think like the first one that we're getting is, I think, mainly like how the TV series did, where it's like it focuses more on the kids. I think kind of tells this like kid side more, and then I think the second installment should be more on the adult aspect. So I'm kind of interested in seeing that. Plus, I know I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen these already. Some stills on social media and internet and stuff of it being set in roughly like 1989. Because I know there's like the marquee that they showed, like the movies, like now playing. It was like about 89, because like Batman and something else, like maybe RoboCop or something, a Rocky or something. But so that's kind of exciting, especially considering like I was a kid at that time, and I remember going to like the drive-in to see like stuff like Batman and all that with my aunt, who I miss dearly. But like just something like that, there is a little bit of excitement. I don't, like I said, I don't usually get excited for remakes because there's so many of them. But yeah, it'll be interesting. So it'll be interesting when that one comes out next year. I'm like, in another remake that is actually coming out. Speaking of Tim Curry, I know it's not necessarily a horror movie, but it was inspired by like Frankenstein and stuff. Remake of Rocky Horror Picture Show. Sorry, I'm a little thirsty. Um, Now this one, like I know Tim Curry makes an appearance. He's the narrator in it, which, you know, but I'm not 100% sold on it. I mean, like nothing against like the cast or anything. Like Laverne Cox, who I just watched in Orange Is the New Black. Like I watched that about a month ago, and I loved her character in that. I love her in that, but so far what I've seen of like the trailers and stuff, and then even on top of that, like it looks like they injected the like audience participation into the movie, which I'm like, no, dude, this is not a tutorial on like when you should be fan participating in it. Like, no, like go pop your cherry at your local discount theater and like learn how to learn the audience participation then. Like, don't do it in the movie, don't do it in the remake. No, stop it. So, yeah, so I had to kind of get that out. I wasn't going to talk about it, but still talking about, you know, my faves, Tim Curry. Love that man. Love him. He's the reason why I love accents, by the way. It's because of him. Little place in my heart right there for Tim Curry. Love him. So anyway, but yeah, just stuff like that, just remakes and stuff that I'm like, but yeah, like I said, I just wanted to kind of like, you know, give a little, you know, give some of my thoughts on some remakes and stuff. And like I said, I'll probably, you know, down the road, you know, talk more in depth about like certain remakes and stuff that I've seen and maybe compare them to the two. Like I said, I know I've already done Night of the Living Dead, the original and the remake. But yeah, so and plus two Carrie as well. I know I kind of dived into the remakes of Carrie as well. Another one that has two remakes to it. And I'll say, I've said it before, I'll say it again. If you guys didn't like the 2013 Carrie, go watch the 2002 Carrie and then go back and watch the 2013 Carrie, and you'll have a little appreciation for the 2013 Carrie. So, all I gotta say about that. So yeah, so I'm gonna wrap it up, and then hopefully next time you guys see this ugly mug, I will actually have my July Blu-ray pack, and I will hopefully do it a little better than I did my DVD packing. I know it was a little all over the place, but hopefully next time you see this face, I will have my July horror pack, even though, like I said, you guys have probably all seen the videos by now, so you kind of know what's in there. I'm trying to stay away from them because I want to be genuinely surprised. So until then, all my little freaks and geeks, you guys have an awesome week, and you know, keep digging the horror. All right, you guys. All right, you guys, take it easy.